In this video, I'm going to show you how we redesign our bowsprit, hook up our new anchor, and build an anchor snubber. So we got a new anchor today. This is a bowsprit setup that we inherited, and I'm just not okay with it. So we used to have anchor rollers there facing down, and then the anchors were reeled down low, and they presented themselves to the waves, which I didn't like it. And the chain would get on the side. So anytime you're anchoring, you want it just as simple as you can. Any contraption that you have is never going to work. So I'm going to get rid of that and modify it so it's just nice. So we got a new anchor too. This is the Excel anchor. I had one on my old boat, and it was bad to the bone. Never failed me. Always set, any scope, any condition, always set. Never drug once. It was just all around perfect for 5,000 miles, and it never ever had one problem. The anchor that came with the boat is this Spade S140, which is also a good anchor, but it's not properly sized for the boat. So I replaced it with the Excel. And what I like about the Excel is the flukes aren't tilted up like this. So this one, when it comes up, it brings up mud with it a lot, and you have to hose the mud off, mess around with it. The Excel usually comes up clean, so that was one of the reasons I got it. Also, it's got a tuck up under that bowsprit, so you can see if the flukes are inverted, that presents a problem. This one just slides right up under the bowsprit, and like I said, I used it, and it's an all-around perfect anchor. And if you ever want to know anything about anchoring, if you look at Steve Goodwin on YouTube, SV Panopy, his videos, he is pretty much the anchoring god. He has every anchor, every test. It is a plethora of knowledge. So I'll show you the swivel. That's the swivel that came with the Spade, and you can see it's just I wouldn't use it. I wouldn't trust my boat with it, so we got rid of it. And some people don't like to use swivels at all, and I would agree, because there's none of them that are really designed properly, except for this one here, in my opinion, this Mantus swivel. So it's stronger than the chain, so you could side load it, and it's a bad piece of equipment. Nice, really nice. And Toad's got the lickies. Toad's giving me a licking. So what makes this thing so strong is this pin. One of the things that makes it so strong is this pin. See how it's oblong, so it takes up all that space in there when it's linked. So this swivel is actually stronger than the chain. So it's compared to the other swivel, which is crap. So this swivel can articulate, it can side load and everything. And it's just it's a really good, in my opinion, it is the only swivel that I would ever have on a boat. So that's all it is. It just goes together like this. That goes there. This screws down here. Once that's in, we're going to put a pin through there, but you can see how it captures the whole link. And this one can articulate every which way. And then it also swivels, and it's stronger than the chain. So if you're going to use a swivel, in my opinion, this is the only one I would use. I haven't seen any. I looked at all of them. I haven't seen any of them that looked up to the task. But this one here is good. It's Mantus. Thoroughly impressed with most Mantus products. So with Mantus makes really good smart products. I mean, all the stuff they make is really good. Like just attention to detail, like just this little pin. See, it actually fits in there. And just simple little things like that, in my opinion, are what makes Mantus stand out from most of the other companies. They always have quality stuff and just smart, innovative designs. So that's that. I'll screw these. I get these tighter, and then the swivel's on there, just like that. It's that easy. Zoom in. Mm-hmm. And then the last step would be to wire off your shackles so they can't work out. And that's for any shackle on a boat. On a ocean-worthy boat, you should always wire your shackles, because the pins will work out. They will loosen, work themselves out. So let's just get some Monel wire or Yeah, that's Monel. And that's all you need to prevent it from backing itself out. And that's about the only thing you need to check every once in a while. Just make sure your wire's on there. And so you can see now we got a proper setup here. Swivels freely. Swivel is stronger than the chain. And the Excel is massive. And then we just got to make its home on the bowsprit now. But that's it, one step closer to getting out of here. So there she is. It fits in there perfect. See, it's got the little notch right. See that little notch right there? So that catches the roller. I don't have the roller installed yet. I gotta weld some stuff on there, but that's where it should sit. The further back, the better. But the size of it, it's got to sit there. Actually, I might be able to move it back one. Let's try that. So today I'm going to be building a snubber, and this is a snubber, and this is what it does. The snubber, it stops the shock loading of the chain, so when the wind or the tide's jerking you around, it's not shock loading the rigging, your deck gear, or jerking the chain out of the bottom. So you have the canter area of the chain, which is the slope there where it says chain slack. That slope combined with the elasticity of the snubber, it stops all the shock loading and protects your all your gear, your anchor, and it's really important to have a proper snubber. You'll see boats with snubbers, they're just tiny little small afterthoughts, and they're not really proper, but they're just usually taking the strain off of their windlass. But the whole snubber system should do all that. It should take the strain off the windlass, reduces the tension on the rigging and everything. So make sure you have a proper one. So I'm going to make my own bridle. Mantus Marine, I keep saying Mantus Marine because they're a really good company and their customer service is great. But they make bridles. I like a dual bridle or an anchor snubber. I call it a bridle. It would just be like dual snubbers. But Mantus doesn't make them long enough for what I wanted, so I'm going to show you how I make them. So first we'll just pretend the anchor is here. This is the anchor and that's going to the boat. And this guy here is a 1/2 inch pendant snubbit, they call it. This is Dyneema. So believe it or not, this 1/2 inch stuff here is 28,000 pounds strength. So really, really strong. You got to have the chafe guard. It's not, once it's under load, if you touch it, it rips. So it's good in one way, but it's not good in the other way. I'm not a fan of it, but I'm gonna try it because I don't know. I like mechanical fittings for me, but you can't seem to find the old Mantus hooks anymore, so I'm going to use this. So you can see I just looped it around. I did it uneven, so when this attaches to the next part, you'll see that in a second. That way it's not riding on the knot. It'll be riding up here. Since there's no chafe protection there in the knot, I'm trying to offset the knot so it's in the center, not on the ends. And as far as the thimbles go, so this is called a tubular thimble, which I like the idea better. You get some 3/4 nylon and just thread it through here and then back splice it. 3/4 nylon is what you want to use because it stretches. You want to stretch. The stretch is what stops the shock loading of the chain, and nylon is what you do. Nylon is what you use. So feed it through, you back slice it, and then you put chafe protection on it. So here's one that I made. So I put the nylon through here. I back spliced it at least 6 times. I overkill everything. It's back spliced all the way to about here, which is unnecessary, but I feel better. And then you go online, you can buy some of this chafe guard. So I got all this chafe guard, and that's where this chain will be rubbing against the nylon. It could get twisted there, so you have the chafe guard there, and that's what I got, and that's what I'm building. So I'm going to build 2 of these identical lengths, and it'll be a bridle, and I'll show you what the finished product looks like and how I hook it up. So that's pretty much it. Pull it through, unravel it, burn your ends so they don't come apart, and then you'll just back slice it. You want to make sure you get this as tight as possible so this can't slip out of here. I'm sure nobody's watching this as a how-to video, so if you want to learn how to back slice, obviously just check Google, it's on there. And once you do that, undo it because you forgot to put the chafe on there. So you get your chafe guard, and I run a long fish through it, and then pull your rope through it, and then do your splice. If you do it the other way, then you have to undo it like I just did. So there's the finished product. You're gonna have a I don't know what that is, clincher knot. There's a knot called a Pruist knot. I'm not sure, but you can see what it is. It's easy. Then I have the soft shackle here. That's the Dyneema soft shackle. It's got that monkey's fist. Then you shove it through that hole, and that keeps it tight. And this goes to my dual bridles. So I have a snubber going to each side of the bow. You'll see that. I don't really like that, so, and my shackle's not big enough. But I'm going to get a shackle in here, and then hook it to the shackle. I don't like the fact that these could be sliding all around and getting running starts, and shock loading, boom, bang. So I'm going to capture these two in a shackle, and that's how I have it rigged. I don't really like this setup. I'm more of a mechanical fastener guy. You see people, they always have like these hooks that rely on gravity, and that stuff never works. I mean, it works, but it works till it doesn't work. I don't know. I would never rely on it. So in the past I had a Mantus, it was called a CH1, a chain, the old chain hook. It was like a claw, and it captured the whole link. It was perfect. And of course, like most perfect stuff, they stopped making it. So they have a new hook out, but I'm not really a fan of it because it side loads the chain, puts like a breaking point on it. So that's why I went with this. But then again, I don't really like this whole setup here. I'd rather have just this to a hook right to the chain. So this is all I have for now. I'm going to go with this. You're going to get yourself one of these waterproof bags, and you can shove your snubber, your bridle in there, and keep that up on the bow ready to deploy. It keeps the sun off it, so you don't want the sun eating up this nylon. And the only thing I can see to improve this would be they use 8-plate instead of the triple braid nylon. They say that's a little bit better. It lays flatter. And the chafe guard is made of, mine is a polyester nylon blend, and from what I'm understanding, polyester is better, but I couldn't find polyester, so I just use this Chafe Pro, and I just have to put some seasoning on it there to hold it down. And when you load up your bag, put the bow end in first, so when you do deploy it, you just reach in, attach it to your anchor, send your anchor out, boom, you're done.
Go.
So we got the long wire, we got 309 stainless, should use 316 and Rinconel.
Tell them what you're doing though.
We're welding the roller onto the bowsprit.
Let's see what it looks like. Oh, let me turn around first. Oh.
It is a scorcher, 104 degrees outside. So that's what it looks like now, nice and simple, nice and easy. There's the chain, goes up to the roller. We got the rope holding it back just in case it slips, but I will add something to hold this chain down. So the anchor sits in there, and then the snubbers will go from there to there, and they'll straddle the bowsprit. And there is the final product. So I'd like to get the Excel back there, but that contraption's in the way. So once I haul out, I'm going to cut that whole thing out of there and get rid of that, and possibly move it back there. You don't want all that pressure on the bowsprit because it'll take it. Yeah, it will, but why put it on there if you don't have to? I just picture the anchor stuck, and then you driving the boat up over it. So you got 51,000 pounds of boat driving up over the anchor, cantilevering on that. And that's just not the way I do things. So I'll probably move it back there eventually, but for now that'll do.